Hello, I was gonna say Facebook. Hello, YouTube. How are you doing? Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Tuesday evening. I am here to answer some of your immigration questions. And I thought as well that I would like to also explain some terminologies because a lot of you don't know these these common terminologies that you may find while you're going through the immigration application. Okay, so uh, some of these terminologies may already be familiar, but I find that some people still don't quite get the terminologies. I mean, you don't really need it if you're just applying for one visa, but I thought that maybe it gives you a little bit of knowledge, for example. But as usual, please feel free to leave your questions on the chat box on the side. Ask me any questions that you have on any immigration issues that you may be applying for yourself and you're not sure about how to go a step or what happens afterwards, or you have a specific question about any of the immigration questions. So I'm here and I'm here to answer your question for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to drop them on the chat box. But while you're kind of thinking what to ask, what I will do is I have made this. I don't know if you can read this. No, that's not the one. But I've made this kind of, here it is. So I've made this, and I don't know if you can read this on, but it's essentially it says UK terminologies, UK immigration terminologies, and so I thought that I made this kind of don't know what you call this. It's been a long time since I've been in school or university that I don't even know what it means, but it's kind of like a presentation. Is it, I don't know how to call it. Feel free to let me know. But okay, so firstly, people are confused about, well, not confused, but they don't know what entry clearance is against, visit visa and against family permit. Okay, so these are the three types of visa. I'm gonna hide myself and hopefully you can read that. So entry clearance is essentially what you will get if you are applying from outside the United Kingdom and you're coming to apply for a visa to come to the UK to settle. Okay, so if you're joining somebody who is settled in the UK or a British citizen, then you would be applying for entry clearance visa. I mean, you will say, I want to apply for a fiancé visa, and or I want to apply for a spouse visa, or I want to apply for my child to come and join me in the UK permanently. Then initially, when they apply and they get the visa, it's called entry clearance. Okay, it's called entry clearance, and usually they'll only get 6 months in the beginning. The validity of that is like a sticker that they stick on your passport. So that's what it's called, entry clearance. Okay, so that's just a formal word, like home office or lawyers would use these words. Okay, but for normal people, you won't know entry clearance. You'll just say, yeah, I've got my visa. Okay, generally I've got my visa, I can come to the UK, and that's it. And there is visit visa. So you know what visit visa is. Visit visa is, it's if you're applying to just generally look around in the UK, and you will get the visit visa. You can do multiple. You can do 6 months. I think they also issue a year and 2 years and 5 years. Okay, multiple entry visas. So you get visit visa. Don't mix it with entry clearance, because this one is temporary and entry clearance is kind of permanent. And I think lately you will hear people saying, I want to apply for family permit. Family permit is a specific term for those who are joining they're EU family member, EU citizens in the UK, and they are family members of EU citizens. But this will be, you won't hear anything about this family permit visa, because that will be scrapped and it won't be valid from June, because as you know, the UK has left the UK has left the European Union, and so you won't see this, because it's no longer, they're no longer issuing these type of visas. Okay, so I hope it's quite clear. So anyway, the next one is a very common one. What is the difference between limited leave to remain against indefinite leave to remain? Now, for new people who want to apply for visas, sometimes they'd say, oh, yes. Oh, even those who are already in the UK, actually, they'd come and they say, oh, I want to apply. I've applied for indefinite leave to remain, and I was refused. And so, when they say things like, oh, I have applied for indefinite leave to remain, I'm kind of, oh my goodness, what, I'm confused. Why are you applying for indefinite leave to remain? You haven't got visa yet. But they seem to hear that terms a lot more than the limited leave to remain, which is, that's why they use indefinite leave to remain, because they thought that's the name of the visa. But the difference is limited leave to remain. The clue is in the word limited. Okay, so it's a visa that you get issued in the UK. Once you're in the UK, renew your visa, or you apply and you get, you're successful, then the Home Office will initially give you a limited leave to remain, and that's usually 2.5 years visa. And you'll see that on your letter as well, that you've applied for limited leave to remain as a spouse or whatever, and they say limited leave to remain. So that's limited because there's a time restriction. It's restricted. There's a time limit. Okay, there's a time limit. That's why it's called limited leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain, as you know, it's when you've got this permanent status. So the word indefinite means there's no restriction on the time. There's no time limit. That means you are already permanent resident in the UK, and you complied with all the requirements, and so that you've been granted indefinitely to remain. So that is the difference. You shouldn't be saying indefinite leave to remain if you mean limited leave to remain. So if you're not, if you're confused, don't use indefinite leave to remain to when you go to a lawyer, because I hear this. It's not. I hear this quite often. They say, yeah, I've applied for indefinite leave to remain, and I was refused. That's what I applied for, and I'm like, well, did you have visa before? No, I didn't, but I was refused. So I thought, yeah, that's a lot of confusion on what is the proper terms of limited leave to remain and indefinite leave to remain. So those are the difference. Now, when you get your indefinite leave to remain, and many people are wondering, especially now that they've issued this biometric card, it used to be that it was sticker. They stick it onto your passport, and then when your passport expired, then you carry the other passport that has your indefinite leave to remain sticker, proof that you have permanent resident in the UK, ILR. You carry that with you wherever you go, you travel, because that's your visa. And then, but they've introduced this biometric card. So when you get your indefinite leave to remain status, they will grant you this biometric card, but it's not, you would think, well, it should be 10 years, but it's not 10 years, because sometimes it's only like 5 years, because it coincides with the expiry date of your passport. So if your passport, let's say you apply for your indefinite leave to remain this year, and your passport expires 3 years later, they'd only give you 3 years, and then you would have to renew your biometric card. Okay, but then people get confused, because they'll think, well, I've already got indefinite leave to remain. Why do I have to renew this biometric card? Yes, I think that's one way of making money from from people. This is what I think, because you have to renew that biometric card, and but you don't have to, when you renew it, you don't have to then submit your life in the UK test, your proof that you still comply with all the rest of the requirements for indefinite leave to remain. When you renew it, you only need proof that you have not been outside the UK for the last for 2 years. So you've been in the UK and you're still holding that indefinite leave to remain status. So you need to provide proof of those. So if you've been in the UK for the last 10 years, then they may ask for proof the last 5 years or so. So it's just proof that you've been in the UK legally resident and you've not been outside the UK for 2 years. Because if you're outside the UK for 2 years, you lose your indefinite leave to remain status. So that's why you have to provide proof. And usually they'll ask for the passport, your full pages of your passport to show that you've not been out of the country. Okay, so those are, I thought I'd kind of explain that, those terminologies, because it's a little bit confusing. Okay, so I've got a question here. Can I apply for my naturalization from time to get married? Mo Britain, UK, can I apply for my, is it naturalization you said? Maturation. From time to get married, 10 years. Not quite sure what you meant by that, Mo. Did you mean naturalization? And you've been married for 10 years? Yeah. So if it's about naturalization, when do you qualify to apply for naturalization? It's when, I've actually got a video on that in this, British citizen. I gather that. Thanks. So I have a video actually on this channel about how to apply for naturalization, how to become a British citizen. And it has a guide with it that explains when do you qualify, okay? When do you qualify to apply for British citizenship? What you have to remember is you will become a British citizen, but only if you've already got the indefinite leave to remain. So you can't, you can't jump from being an illegal, okay, being an overstayer in the UK and then apply for British citizenship. No, it doesn't work like that. Or you can't jump from holding a 2.5 years visa, limited leave to remain as a spouse, and then apply for naturalization. It doesn't work like that, okay? So there's steps you have to go through before you can become a British citizen. And if you're married to a British citizen, you can apply immediately after you have got your indefinite leave to remain. So if you've been in the UK, okay, you've got your residence 2011, okay, but do you have indefinite leave to remain? So if you have got your indefinite leave to remain, let's say, I don't know, you got it last month, then yes, you can immediately apply for British citizenship, but you have to also comply with the rest of the other requirements, which is, complying with the good character requirement and life in the UK test. Okay, so those life in the UK test, one of an English test. Sorry, English test. So indefinite leave to remain. If you've been married with a British citizen, as soon as you have it, you don't have to wait another year. Okay, you don't have to wait another year because it's kind of a special category for. I call it special category for those who are married with British citizen. Yes, because it used to be that once you've been in the UK for 3 years, after 3 years, you can apply for British citizenship. But because they've changed the immigration rules so that when you come to the UK to join your British citizen husband or wife or partner, then you're given 2.5 years visa initially, and then you renew it if you're on the 5-year route. Okay, and then after 5 years, then you apply for indefinite leave to remain. In the past, before they introduced the changes, it used to be 3 years. And then after 3 years, you can apply for your British citizenship. It used to be very easy, but they've changed all that now. So 5 years residence in the UK, and then apply for British indefinite leave to remain. After indefinite leave to remain, then apply for naturalization. Okay, so yes, if you have your indefinite leave to remain last year, June, you can apply. If you comply with all the other requirements, you can apply for naturalization. My question, did you not have to wait? No, no, not really, no. Did I not to wait 10 years from my date of marriage or when I get my first? No, no, not at all. So if you, I don't know about your immigration history, okay, Mo. So I'm explaining that if you're married, you don't, and if you want to, okay, and you got married to a British citizen, okay, yeah, in that case, yeah. So you this is what I meant by you have to comply with the good character requirement, okay. And there's actually a video. If you look on this channel, there's a video, the UK, this channel where you're in. There's a video about um, how to apply for naturalization, and I also have a guide. Okay, it's a free guide that takes you step by step what you have to do to assess whether you can apply for British citizenship. Now, they also changed the law about the good character requirements. So when you apply for British citizenship, it used to be that you don't even have to comply with they didn't introduce this good character requirement so that you can apply, provided you haven't got a criminal record and you're quite upfront about things. It used to be quite easy to get the British citizenship, and then they introduced little by little, them making it difficult. So if you've been illegal in this country at one point, so even though so you have to wait 10 years from the date that you were illegal. So when you were, let's say, yeah, so you got your residence 2011, okay, 12, okay, so December 2011, then you have to wait for the 10 years to pass before you can make the application. Because if you apply, let's say if you apply now and 10 years has not passed yet, then that will be, that will be refused. It's nothing to do with the marriage, okay, Mo. So you can be illegal and then you were granted, let's say, you were granted another visa, student visa, and then you renewed your visa from that 10 year, from during that 10 years, and you didn't have any overstaying period. Then you qualify, but you have to wait until the 10 years has passed. No, it's not 10 years from the marriage. So you can, yeah, so you can get married. Yeah, I think I know where you're coming from. You can get married, okay? So you can get married, but you haven't got your visa. So it means you're still illegal, okay? You're still an overstayer. And so you have the date, when you count the 10 years, the date will start from the date that you obtained your visa. Okay. Oh, so you are married to an EU citizen. Okay, yeah, this is different. I would wait. I would wait. Sorry, I would wait. You said you got it on the 12th December 2011, isn't it? So 10 years. Yeah, I would wait December to apply. Okay, December, because at 10 years, 20, yeah, December this year, I would apply December this year instead of not September, because I would not, you can apply. You can say, well, yeah, the moment you can say the moment I married an EU citizen, then I am a family member of that's the term, right? But because of the European, because of Brexit, and the UK has completely left the the European Union, it's a bit risky to kind of argue that, well, yeah, I was married in So they might argue that you were still an overstayer because you didn't get your. I would wait until December. Don't apply on September. It's better to be safe than actually like risk it, because it's not like you're in need to become British, does it? Some people they're like, well, yeah, I want to apply now, but okay, if you want to waste money, because there's really no certainty. Okay, when you make the application, the lawyer can say, okay, yeah, technically this is the you can apply, you'll be fine, but they're not, the lawyers are not the one deciding your application. It's actually the Home Office. So to be actually sure that you don't lose your money, because you will lose your money once you make the application and then they decide, oh, but you didn't get your residence card until December. So they would say that you've actually applied too soon, and so you don't qualify under you don't meet the good character requirement, and so they'd refuse it. It's a lot of money to lose, when you could have waited, I don't know, September, October, November, December, only 3 months to wait. Okay, so okay, Richie, okay, how about switching from the 10 years route to spouse visa? Okay, is that your question? How do you switch from 10 years route spouse visa? Yeah, I also have a video on that already. I've explained it on this on this channel. How do you switch from holding this 10-year spouse visa to 5 years? I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure if that's the question, Mitch. If it is, then yeah, there is, find it on this channel. There is a video on explaining how you can actually switch from the 10-year route to 5-year route. And in fact, I've helped already 2 people on a do-it-yourself basis. So I used to like represent them full time. They were an overstayer. One of them was an overstayer, got his partner's visa 2.5 years on a 10-year route. And then when he renewed a few months ago, he got the 5-year route. So he's saving 2.5 years time. Plus, he saves money as well. You save money once you know what's needed, from switching from the 10-year route to 5 years route. Then it becomes easy, and it's not difficult at all. It's basically just complying with what the Home Office is requiring for you to be put on the 5 years route, which is show them that you have the English test, because that's one of the mandatory requirement. Mandatory means you have to have it to get the 5-year route. The other one is you have to meet the financial income requirement, which is 18,600 per annum before tax. And I know this, the 18,600 may be quite a lot for one person, but if you're applying, if you're already in the UK and you already had a visa, then you can combine your income, yours and your sponsor's income together to meet the 18,600 requirement. So that becomes very easy. Those are the only 2 things that you need to show when you renew, that you comply with the 5 years route requirement. And so you ask at the Home Office, I have complied with the requirement, please change switch my status from 10-year, or please place me on the 5-year route. Okay, so but in details, there's a video about that in this channel, and you can find that out, Mitch. But otherwise, let me know if you haven't found it. I'll send you the link. Hello, Awudu. No problem. You can replay this or ask question. Anyway, I'm still here. Okay. Safian Riaz. So you have received your replacement. Yeah, there's a waiting. There's actually a lot of people are waiting for the replacement card. We applied one in January, I think it was January. Yeah, we're still waiting. End of December. She had a biometric in January. We're still waiting as well, but it's only end of March. So unless it's like, mid-May and you still haven't, as long as you've already submitted it, you should be fine. If you've only just submitted your application, then don't worry about it. Sometimes even I'm helping people renew apply for the replacement card. We can't even find appointments yet, so we're still waiting for appointments. We can't make another appointment for the next 3 weeks, and so we keep checking. But there's a lot of waiting, so I think you just have to wait, and until if you applied, let's say it's been over 6 months, then you can make a complaint about it. Otherwise, at the moment, there is really nothing you can do except wait. Hello, Safian. Yeah, sorry. Can you please replay? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the replay. Okay, Mo Britain. How about the address? You changed a lot. Yeah, you need to, unfortunately, get the best. Just estimate the best, addresses where you've been. If you can't remember, then you can't remember. Can you check on Google to see if the postcode? If you can remember the street, the name. If not, then don't worry about it. But they will ask for your 10. They'll ask for when did you come to the UK, when did you arrive, and then they'll ask for your address since you arrived. So, but if you can't, just address it on the on your application and just say I moved a lot, and I can't remember exactly all of my addresses. That's all you can say, really. Okay. Awudu, okay, so your friend applied for visa for program on June 2021, but the program has been postponed to October 2021. Can it be possible that they will give him the visa? Has he already applied? If he has applied, because usually they communicate with the sponsor. Okay, so the sponsor, the sponsor will usually communicate to the home office, or I don't know how they do it with sponsorship, but possibly if it's still going ahead, it's just postponed. Possibly, yes. Why I don't see why wouldn't they why wouldn't do it. Okay, no problem, Mo. I'm glad to help. Okay, when it comes to visa, okay, so I'm talking about visa. If you've been waiting for a visa for over 6 months, it really depends on what type of visa you're applying. Let's say if you are an overstayer, okay, you're an overstayer and you applied for a visa, but you haven't heard for like 6 months, then it means it usually takes time for overstayers. So there's no point contacting the home office at that stage. 6 months. 8 months, maybe you can check. But if it's, let's say, a spouse visa, I don't know, Cheesy, I don't know what application you've applied. It does not mean at all that they're going to grant the visa just because you're waiting. No, doesn't. Not at all. So if you are, let's say, applying for renewal of visa and it's been 6 months, I would contact them. I would contact the home office, call them, or write them an email. It's called complaint, because there is really no dedicated point of contact for the home office. If you're following up with your application, there isn't. All you have to do is write a complaint. It's not a complaint, but write a kind of, inquiry as to what's happening with your application, what's the status of your application. That's all you can do, or you can phone them, but then it's the same thing as emailing them. I think I would email them. I prefer emailing and also calling at the same time, so that you have record that you followed it up. Okay, if you just call them, yeah, you have proof that you called them on the specific date, and how long you've spoken to the Home Office. But it usually just says, they take your details and then they'll say, oh, well, yeah, we'll pass on to the, we'll escalate it. They call it escalation of your case. They'll escalate, they pass it on to the department where your thing is supposed to, where they're supposed to have dealt with it. But that's all they can say. And then they'd say, well, you have to wait, I think 20 working days. You wait 20 working days for the Home Office to get back to you. Okay. And that's the same as if you email them. It's exactly the same as, you email, you have to wait for essentially 1 month. 20 working days is equivalent to 1 month. And sometimes it goes over that. Okay, so you just have to diarize it in such a way that, well, if you haven't heard anything after a month, you've contacted them, then, follow it up with another letter to say, what's happening with my application. And then again, phone them. You have to pay for this. When you phone them, you pay something like, probably you pay about £5 or something. Of course, it's like £1 something, £1.30, I think, per minute when you call them. That's just how it goes. You have to pay. You have to pay to chase your own application. Unfortunately, yeah, that's the only thing you can do, except wait or write or phone them. Okay. Okay, is there, okay, can I apply 28 days before my 10 years time? No, you can't. It has to be 10 years, okay, Mo? Because it's different from, when you're applying for a visa, that's different. They would take your application from the date that you submit your application, as in, date you pay the fees and submit it. That's the date that you submit your application. That's the date you applied. And so if you apply and you haven't reached the 10 years, then technically, I would not risk it, because it's not a visa you're applying for citizenship. And so different rules apply for this. And it's time sensitive. So you need to follow, if it's 10 years, it has to be 10 years. Yes. So, yes, I've been on this live for 33 minutes. So, and I think I will stay for another 5 minutes to see if there's anybody else want to ask a question. Okay, and then I'm just here. Hello, Junid. Okay, so you're from the want to search job in the UK. Depends what kind of job you want to take, because depends on your experience, depends on your yeah, you need to have a job, you need to have a sponsor first. So search online to see if there's any. Yeah, you need to apply for skilled worker route, under the skilled worker route, and you have to have a sponsor, you have to have a visa. They've changed everything now. So if you search on skilled worker route, Junaid, online, you'll be able to see what the requirements are. and it will also tell you what jobs are eligible for that kind of visa. Yes, so skilled worker route, and you'll be able to get some information about it, whether the job that you're applying qualifies under the skilled worker route, because there's a lot of job opening. Have requirements for 5 years route? Do I need 6 months or 1 year bank statements and bills? For 5 years route, you need 6 months if you've been employed by the same company for a year. Okay, so if you've been with the employer for at least a year, then you need 6 months bank statements. But you need 1 year if you have jobs. If you're what's the term? If you have two jobs, okay, 2 jobs, and they are irregular hours, different hours. So you need the 12 months bank statements to show that you actually meet the financial requirement. But if you've been with the same employer for over 1 year, and you receive a monthly income, let's say over 1,550 per month, then you only need 6 months. So you need like one pay slip per month. So 6 months pay slips and 6 months bank statements. But if you have other jobs, one job that pays you 600 per month, the other job pays you, I don't know, 950 or 1,000 per month, then you need 12 months. Okay, so that's the idea. Hello, DUJ, that's what I called. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Safian, how long you gonna take a ride replacement card? How long does it take for the replacement card? There is really no, there's no time frame, Safian. Again, you just have to wait. There is no, if you search how long it's going to take, they're not going to tell you how long it's going to take. So you wait, yeah, you just wait for the replacement card, unfortunately. Oh, you're talking about EU settlement scheme for 5 years, only P60 enough. No. You need P60, you need different kinds of proof. You need bank statements to show that you lived at the address. Actually, when you apply for the EU settlement scheme, they'll ask for your national insurance, right? So if it's clearly on the system that you've been working for 5 years continuously and paid tax continuously for that 5 years, then you won't even need to, they will just grant you. They'll just say, here's the EU settlement scheme. But if you have gaps, because, I don't know, you have 2 months, you were not working, 1 month, 3 months here and there, then they'd need to ask for proof. And then they usually write to say, can you please provide proof that you've been in the UK, you've been resident in the UK for these specific years. And then you just send them P60, your pay slips with your address, your bank statements, your council tax bill, all those. Okay, proof of address, you to show that, yeah, you have been in the UK for those years. You can do, yeah, you can, because it's better that they know whether or not you should apply and search that the employer that you're applying for, Junaid, is under the sponsor license. So when you're applying for the sponsored, for the skilled worker route, you need to make sure that the employer has a license with the UK government department. And then you also need to find out that the job that you are applying for qualifies under the eligible jobs. Okay. And once you find an employer who, when you apply and the employer said, yeah, okay, yeah, perfect, we would like to have you on board, they need to issue you with what is called a certificate. It's like a paper that says, yes, they want to sponsor you, and then you apply, and then you get the visa, and then you come to the UK. Although there's a lot, there's more to it. If you there's more to it if you need more information. It's not as straightforward as I've described it. But the process is check that the employer is registered with the UK government, that they have a license. Second is the job that you're applying and you're that you're hired. Let's say the employer hires you is under the eligible jobs, and then you have to be paid as well a minimum amount, at least the minimum amount that the UK government published. So you have to be paid for that, and you have the English test as well, English requirement, and so on. Yeah. Yes, that's correct, Junaid. 25,600, I think. DJ, yes, of course. You changed home. Yeah, a lot of people change addresses. So yeah, you just need to show where you where you moved to. So let's say the bank statements reflect it. So the bank statements are usually good document to provide, although it's not usually the only document. But you have council tax, bank statements, which you can order 5 years of bank statements from your bank. Okay, so you can contact your bank and say, I want to order 5 years worth of statements from you, and it will show you which addresses you registered, I believe. Okay. So, okay, everyone. So, no more questions, and I've been here for 42 minutes. Thanks for joining me. And any more questions? Like Junaid, if you have any more questions about skilled worker route, or if let me know. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye. Have a nice Tuesday evening. Bye.